Yesterday, I talked about a lot of important things. And I got very passionate yesterday too, because this was my students. But we put out some, one of my students, Brother Ahmad, put out a really nice excerpt of what I was talking about yesterday. I do my best lectures when I do my best. Brother Ahmad? Oh, there's Jamali. Assalamu alaikum. Turn his camera. Jamali, I can never remember. Remember to ask you about Brother Muhammad Ziyada.
Yes, he's here in Florida.
Yeah, aren't you there with him? Yeah.
Close, I can contact him.
Yeah, because we got so many youth, since I'm streaming on all these other programs. We got these kids are asking about stuff like the drugs and all of this. Boy, he would be good up in here with you again now.
I will bring him, inshallah. I'll call him to contact you.
Yeah, and just tell him, because tell him that we've got so many followers. I got so many new shahadas, new Muslims all over the world, and he would. Oh my God, they would love to hear from him. And I see that he joined. He follows me. I see, because I keep seeing his name pop up every now and then. I think he's listening to me.
Yes, he is.
How's he doing? Because he's Palestinian too. Is he losing any family over there?
No, when I am from Gaza and he's from West Bank. West Bank is okay, but the Gaza is massacres.
Okay, so he's okay. Yeah. He's handling it, everything okay, right?
Yes, his family there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something, brother. Dr. Jamali, I had a meltdown last night. I don't know if you heard it or not. I figured you did. I said, watch Jamali call. Because a lot of the Muslims here in the West are freaking out. I had one of my students, I had to come down on him and snap him to it. He had the nerve that he's questioning. He said, why is Allah allowing this to happen? I said, you people are going crazy. Now you question Allah and taking yourselves out of Islam. A lot of the Muslims in the West are weak and they're losing it. I understand that a lot of Muslims here or where I live are apostating. They're looking at what's going on over there. They don't understand, and they're apostating. They're weak. They're just tripping. You guys are going to have to address that as the scholars, man. This is bad.
Yes. In fact, it's very bad, especially for passion of people love Muslims. They have the kind of feeling. But always in our Sunnah followers, our example always Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Mecca between his own family, 13 years. Many of his companions got killed, male and female and children. Embargo against Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Sha'ab Bani Talib, 3 years embargo. No food at all, no water, no nothing. People got also they die of hunger. And Allah Azza wa Jalla Surah Al-Ankabut, in the beginning of Surah Al-Ankabut, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Alif Lam أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون ولقد فتنا الذين من قبلهم فليعلمن الله الذين صدقوا وليعلمن الكاذبين. الله عز وجل سيدنا سورة العنكبوت في آيات ألف لام ميم. حسب الناس أن يتركوا. The people think, the people lifted to say we are mu'mineen. حسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا. We are mu'mineen. There is no fitna and trials, tribulation and hardship. Yes, indeed. Just like the people before us, since Adam alayhi salam, Nuh alayhi salam, to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, hardship and calamity. For one reason, of course, just to ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan. The only Muslim country, the only city country following the Quran and Sunnah, only Gaza, not Saudi Arabia, with Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam born, not Emirates, not Jordan, not Egypt. There is no Muslim country following the Sunnah except the people of Gaza Strip, 306 square feet, 2.5 million people there. But last year I was 3 months over there. Masajid, every corner masjid, and teaching the Quran, and memorizing the Quran, and understand the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah and Aqidah. But again, the only Muslim country in the whole Muslim world. Number one, there is no riba, there is no usury. Number two, every sister, children with the hijab, either niqab or hijab. So my point, the masajid everywhere. That's why Allah said, hardship to other Muslims to see happen to you, and unfortunately, not even one Muslim country, by the way, supporting or to do anything, not even help. For example, in Egypt, 1.5 million soldiers, all kind of weapons, 1.5 million. They cannot even give sip of water for the people of Gaza. And after that, Jordan and Syria and Lebanon. Gaza is here, and Egypt, Syria, Jordan, and Lebanon are part of Saudi Arabia. And all this country, the leaders, not the people, give attention. The leaders, not the people. Everybody have passion, especially Egyptians. They want to do something, but if we speak anything, they'll be in a prison or killed. Simple. Jordan, the same thing. And Jordan, until now, the Emirate getting food for the Zionism, and who received this? Saudi Arabia and Jordan. Give it to who? To Zionism, not the children of Gaza. My point, in summary, of course, brother and sister, there's a hardship and calamity always in every Muslim country, especially if you hold the Islam very strong. Hadith al-Rasul in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim. He says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, al-qabidu ala dini, kal-qabidu ala jamr min nar. The one he hold his deen strongly, just like holding a charcoal in his hand. And if you go to Gaza, inshallah, soon, we're going to go to Gaza, inshallah, and go to Masjid al-Aqsa soon, inshallah, the people really tried as much, they're always seeking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, working for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They try to defend themselves, but the different occupation, 75 years. 75 years by the help of Arab leaders. Not the Muslim here, Arab leaders around the area. So yes, it's hardship, as Allah told us in the Quran, many ayat in the Quran, and my job and your job, us, to make dua as much as we can, and we speak about the truth about what's going on in Palestine, in Gaza.
Yeah. Exactly. And the thing is, guys, we have to remain strong. You can't sit there and let what's happening, freak you out and cause you the apostate, because Allah tells us why he sends this. Those people are strong. Like I said, they welcome death because inshallah, they're martyrs. Subhanallah, like he said, they're way ahead of us. You don't see the women around there walking around with their hair out, their derrieres out. You see the mosques packed. These people know the hadiths. They love the prophet. These stories that I'm teaching y'all about the female companions, where am I getting my translations from? From the sisters over there, and also the sisters who are from over there. They know these stories. They grew up on these companions. They're shocked at how twisted our Western thinking is. How we don't really understand the basics. So Allah is going to test us, according to our strength in faith. Those people are strong in faith. They welcome this, they're ready to meet their maker. The question is, what would you do? If you're sitting there so quick to throw in the towel and apostate, to question Allah and why he's doing what he's doing, you ain't nowhere like them. We got to get it together, guys. The Prophet, like Jamali said, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us what to do. When we are faced with times like this, what's going to save us is our faith. You know, look at your iman, work on developing your iman, aqidah. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, strengthen your faith, be strong and firm upon la ilaha illallah. Those are the people that will make it through. And those people are making it through because of that. Subhanallah.
Not only that, hadith al-Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, beautiful hadith, al-Bukhari and Muslim also, قال أشد الناس ابتلاء الأنبياء, the most people hardship and calamity, the prophets. ثم الأمثل فالأمثل, so less iman and less iman. And he said in the end in the hadith, على قدر دينك تبتلى, according to your deen, your iman, you believe in Allah and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as our prophet, has hardship and calamity. And those people, this is the example right now, the example. May Allah make victory for them and may Allah return back to their houses.
Amen.
It's very, very sad, Sister Laila. You know, I try to contact today my brother, and one of my sister got also got shot in her leg.
Oh my
and
God.
The family alive, they go, they make it, she cannot move at all. They go to our house to give food for her or drink something and go back to their places.
Remember when you went last year, one of your sisters was with you giving me salams and all that. Was that her? Yes. Was that the one? She was so sweet. She was talking to me in Arabic and you was translating to me. She was telling me all type of good stuff. Yeah, about my dawah.
My sister Azza, my daughter, her name Azza because of my sister.
Yeah,
Azza.
That's the one.
Yeah. Sister Azza, she teaching the 10 qira'at in Azhar. In Azhar, she teaches 10 qira'at. I got ijaza from my sister.
That's Azza. That's the one. Yes.
She teaching the Quran and the ahkam of the Quran, the rules and regulation of the Quran, and now she can't even move.
Subhanallah.
Yeah, I have actually his daughter. And have three children with his daughter and her husband now in different places.
Oh my goodness. Give her my salams and my love and tell her I make dua for her. I love her. She was so sweet to me.
Until the war, I cannot in touch with my sisters at all. Only in the beginning of the war, I start, but now my brother today called me, alhamdulillah, your sister okay.
Oh, mashallah.
Yeah, I said okay. Today my brother texted me. It's hard. It's very, very, very hard to reach somebody over their sister. Situation become more bad and more bad every single day.
Oh my God. Yeah, she was sweet. Yeah, she had such nice things and positive things to say to me. Oh my God. Yes. May Allah make it easy. But these people are strong, guys. They're not like us over here all weak.
Yes, they are. I see this 3 months I stay with them. I see how much they are children. Sister, imagine, sister. In every salah, the masjid full, most likely children and youth. Most likely. That's so, you make me so happy. The masjid always full.
Yes.
Fajr and Isha especially. Fajr and Isha, the masjid full. Every salah. Plus, there's no electricity. There was in my time, only 2 hours in every day or 3 hours sometimes a day of electricity. And after that, but still you go to the masjid and pray and go back.
I remember that. I remember you took videos of that. Yes.
Yeah.
Subhanallah.
Yeah, I seen some video from there. Yeah. So subhanallah. But hardship, but soon, I believe strongly. Soon we're gonna pray together in Masjid Al-Aqsa, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Jerusalem, Masjid Al-Aqsa, together, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, well, guys, I'm glad Jamali came in.
Inshallah, I will contact Brother Muhammad, inshallah. I will listen to you, inshallah.
Okay, thanks for joining in. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Yeah, subhanallah. I hope that makes a lot of you feel better, you know. I mean, I know it's hard. And like he said, you know, the strongest. Remember those hadiths, guys, when I did the series on the last hour. Remember, we talked about how when the Mahdi comes and announces who he is, it'll be the Arab countries that won't accept him. They'll be at the Kaaba fighting on who's going to replace the king who had just died. And then when he announces who he is, they're not going to accept him. They're going to want to fight him. It will be the people of Jerusalem, the Muslims of Jerusalem that will come forward you know, to give theirs, and the people of, what's it called again, that country? The Jerusalem will be leading the people of Uzbekistan. They'll be the ones to come and support and give the first to give their allegiance to the Mahdi. So those Muslims right there, that part of the world, they've always been the strongest in their iman. That's why so many calamities and trials have hit that part of the world. Okay? The prophet told us those will always be the strongest in iman. He told us the weakest will be where he's from. He said the weakest amongst my nation will be the ones that come from my country, who speak my language. They'll give in to the life of this world and its riches. But those people there will always be strongest in their iman. So that's why I'm telling y'all, you weak Muslims in the West freaking out, question Allah and all this nonsense, those people don't need that from you. You know, they're not suffering like y'all think. I mean, they're suffering as far as losing homes and stuff. But all that's doing is making their iman stronger and stronger and stronger. And each day they wake up saying, maybe this is the day. Maybe this is the day I join my Lord and get to look upon the face of my prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because like he said, they practice the sunnah. The Prophet Muhammad said that part, that one little part, will always be the ones that try to uphold the sunnah. They're not into that fatwa. They're not into the my sheikh. They're into these companions. That's where I'm getting my translations from and my information from. Subhanallah, women from there. Subhanallah. You know, get it together, Western Muslims. Get a grip. You guys are too busy fighting over nonsense. Today I logged in right before class. I just logged in and, you know, to check the videos and check, you know, the website stuff, the stats. We still on stupidity. I got a bunch of good comments. MashaAllah, may Allah bless. And I want to thank everybody for the wonderful feedback I am getting for the first time. I've been giving dawah on the internet since 1986. I've been giving dawah as a person since I was 12 years old, but I've been doing it on the internet since 1986. And I've always had negative comments because I was the only person in the 80s and 90s, one of the few people teaching Quran wa Sunnah. Okay, so of course nobody wanted to meet that. This woman's crazy. She talking about some companions. She talking about, instead of talking about what the madhab say. So I've always met opposition. But now, alhamdulillah, since we do have other brothers out there who are trying to teach the message too, you know, it's not being, you know, people are used to hearing it because those brothers are saying the same thing that I'm saying. You listen to Kareem Abu Zayd, you listen to me. We're saying the same thing, basically. We may disagree on women's issues. We're going to always disagree on women's issues, you know, but we're all the Akida stuff, we're saying the same. Same with Sheikh Atlee. Me and Sheikh Atlee disagree on women's issues. That's always going to be a problem. But everything else is the same. Okay? So I'm not getting that many bad, I may just get two. Maybe 2 bad comments a week. Out of 50 good reviews, I get just 2 bad. That's good. Well, today I got a stupid one. Some brother who listened to my lectures yesterday, he said, oh, he posted, this is supposedly a famous brother. I'm not going to mention his name. He's a famous brother in the United Kingdom. And I got a problem with United Kingdom people anyway. But anyway, famous brother in United Kingdom, he put a comment. He said, oh, mashallah, good lecture. You had me in tears, sister. But here we go. Can you please cover your face? We still on that dumb stuff. Western Muslims are still tripping on dumb stuff like cover your face. There's enough men that you don't have to show what does a man have to do with me showing my face? First of all, we done been down that road. You can't prove to me, no, the prophets' wives didn't cover their faces. So who do you think you talking to? You ain't talking to some 20-year-old convert, revert, whatever you want to call them, who don't know they deen. If you don't have anything good to say, what did the prophet say? Be quiet. And that's the point I'm trying to get out to my students. If you can't back up what you say with Quran and authentic hadith, shut it up. Because you're going to make people like me angry. Because I know my deen. You know, but this is what I'm saying. That's how weak we are. We're weak in the West. We want to tear each other down over stuff that ain't true, like cover your face. Like take off the colors. When ain't none of that stuff in Islam. Those Muslims over there in Gaza, they ain't into that. They already know the lawful and the unlawful. They know how they can dress. Like Jamali say, some wear niqab, some don't. That's a choice. That ain't nothing to do with the religion. But they all got their women parts covered. You don't see them walking around showing their derrieres. They all got on abayas, overgarments. And they wear khimars like me, covering their chests. But we're still stuck on stupid in the West. You know, we got a long way to go as Muslims. And we ask why Allah. We should never ask why Allah does anything. That can invalidate your shahada. But we fail to understand why Allah does what he does. He does what he does because he can. And he's so merciful. Allah is so merciful that he told us why. And he ain't even gotta explain. Allah doesn't owe any of us an explanation. But he's told us why he sends hardships. He told us why he sends war. He explained it. He said, I send war for several reasons. Number one, I send war to cleanse the earth of bad, corrupt people. Number two, I send war so you can differentiate who the true believers are from the mere hypocrites. And number three, I send war as a means of purifying the believers of their sins and giving them a chance to earn my pleasure. So Allah doesn't even have to explain to us why he does anything. But if you would educate yourselves, instead of you Muslims sitting on YouTube, fighting and arguing and trying to tear each other down, making up stuff that ain't true about the religion, trying to find something bad with a woman's dower. You brothers need to get off of that face stuff. You ain't got no problem smiling and grinning in the face of them kafir women. But you want to try to oppress a Muslim woman, you got the wrong sister here. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Nobody oppresses lailanasheeba. I ain't allowing it. I come from the stock of those companions. My DNA goes all the way back to that. And I ain't the one. Okay? Learn your deen, Muslims. Learn it correctly. And then practice it. Practice it the way those companions did. Like those people in Gaza have been doing. Okay? And pray to Allah that you got the strength and resilience that those people in Gaza have. So when Allah send that test here, because it's going to come here. Sit on your throne. It's going to hit the West soon enough. Let's see if you can get off your YouTube channel and handle your calamity with half the resilience that those people have without taking off your hijab, shaving your beard, and adapting the hip hop style of life. And by the way, that's what we're going to be speaking about today. That's a good introduction. And by the way, guys, I did post up the pages Today, we're going to be continuing with chapter 8 of the book, Diluting Wala Walbara, okay, by Sheikh Karim Abu Zaid. That's what we're going to be speaking about today. I love how he takes this chapter. This whole chapter 8 focuses in on how to uphold Wala Walbara in a non-Muslim environment. Okay? Nobody says that it's haram to live in a non-Muslim country. But what is haram is for us to trade our principles or replace our principles and concepts with those of the non-Muslims. And that's what many of you have done and are still doing, even my students. I'm addressing my Zoom room students. Many of you have compromised your Islamic values, your Islamic principles, since you've been here in the West and you've adopted the Western ideology, the Western way of thinking, the Western way of dressing, of behaving. And that's why when you come upon a woman like lailanasheeba, you can't handle it. You're not used to seeing a woman like this. But the way I am and the way I speak is how they speak in Gaza. The way I am and how I speak is how the women in any part of this world who truly believe La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah speak and how we roll. We strong. Okay? At least we put up a good exterior publicly. And again, let me stress this. Nowhere does Islam say that women are to be invisible. I'm teaching you guys about the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. My cousin Mukhtar's teaching it. We're teaching about these companions. The women were not invisible. The women played a role in establishing Islam and paving the way. They were right there behind the men and with the men on the battlefield, in the homes, and all of that. Okay? So if you're not used to seeing women be strong, and sometimes stronger than men, and that's your problem. I can't help that. There's a lot of women like me, but they are just scattered around the world. A lot of them are right there in Gaza. Okay? You should meet my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law is from Gaza. She's strong. Okay? All right. She's strong. Kind of scary. All right, so we'll be beginning with page 349. Everybody should pick up your book, Diluting Wala Walbara, and turn to page 349, because today what we're going to be speaking about is just what we're talking about now, how to live in a non-Muslim society, but still maintain that wala, walbara, that allegiance and disassociation. Okay, so let me take everything down so y'all can, and by the way, screenshot. When I put the PowerPoint up, hold on, take this down. Okay, and when I go through the PowerPoint, I want y'all to use your phone or your tablets or your computer to take screenshots and then print everything out at the end of the class, so that way you will have it as a booklet. Staple it together and attach it to page 349, since that's the page that we're starting with. I'm making everything full screen. Is this full screen? I hope I got people from my Zoom room who can direct me.
You know, Terry, we can see it.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, who's on Facebook and YouTube? Y'all see that, right? That's full? Now I'm gonna do it for you guys here. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me look at Instagram too. Instagrammers. Oh, Fame, are you logged in on Instagram? Okay, there's Instagram. Brother Isa Youssef, mashallah. Okay, hold on. Now I am logged in on Well, this is where my Arabic sisters are and brothers. Y'all want to know some Muslims from over in that part of the world? They on LinkedIn, rooting me on. I'm getting ready to log them on. Hold on. Sister Wethat and Sanam coming in. Hold on. Where's LinkedIn? That's you, Instagram. Okay. This is LinkedIn. Let me type Salam just to set the text. Okay. I'll be able to see. Now, Mina, take a look at this. I need to go full screen for y'all to screenshot, right? That's the text chat. If I keep it, I can see what they type in here, though. Okay, I'll close the text chat because, okay, there it is. I see it. So if y'all type on LinkedIn, I can see. I'm going to make it full screen. Okay. Is that full screen for y'all? And I'm getting ready to take the people here on YouTube and the other places. Y'all getting ready to see me, my PowerPoint. Hold on. I don't know if I don't hear Mina answer me, so I don't know if she's in there. Okay, hold on. This is the PowerPoint. I'm getting ready to full screen it so y'all can. Okay, and let me flip this, bam, and let me do this, boom. Now, is this full screen for y'all on Zoom? I know it's full screen on.
It is on my phone. Yes, for me, yes.
On Zoom, right?
Yes.
So y'all can screenshot this with no problem, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I know I got my other computer. I'm looking at Telegram. Telegram is full screen. Okay, so this is what we're going to be speaking about. Everybody should be able to see my screen. I want y'all to take a screenshot of this. This is page 1 for today. This is pages 349 through 351 of the book, Diluting El-Wala Wal-Better. We're going to speak about emphasizing and practicing Wala Wal-Better in the non-Muslim land of America and the United Kingdom. Since you brothers in the United Kingdom got so much lip, y'all so concerned about a woman's face, you brothers better concern yourself with arguing and debating like y'all doing and tearing each other down. I think the Islam in the United Kingdom is too radical. It's too extreme and radical. More extreme than here in America. We went through that already. All right, here we go. And I want everybody to take notes. We're allowed to live in a non-Muslim country, but living in a non-Muslim country means that we have to uphold certain ethics of Islam. And number one, you all know Islam forbids us from imitating kafirs. But unfortunately, since we Muslims today are so uneducated because we don't know the hadiths, we're too busy learning fatwa. We're too busy learning scholarly opinions. We have replaced the opinions, we have replaced the hadiths of the companions with hadiths of scholars who came after them and even today. But if we get back to the basics, we learn what it means to imitate non-Muslims. And let's look at it. The actions that non-Muslims do can be grouped into 3 categories. And I love the way Dr. Asim messaging me. I love the way Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid broke these categories down. The actions of non-Muslims are in 3 categories. The first category is religious practices. The second category consists of traditions and customs. And the third category of non-believers' actions are their professions, their skills. We as Muslims are forbidden. I repeat, we are forbidden. I repeat, we are forbidden from emulating the non-Muslims in regards to their religious practices. And we are forbidden from imitating them in regards to their customs, their culture and traditions. But it's okay to emulate them in regards to how to be a doctor, how to be a nurse, how to write, how to read. That's different. But when it comes to their actions of worship, when it comes to the non-Muslim culture, we cannot imitate them. And that's why dreadlocks are haram. Because dreadlocks is the Rastafarian culture. Rastafarians are kafirs. They're non-Muslims. They make look at why their history. They allow their hair to grow in dreads. Dread means fear. They allow their hair to grow without combing it, without oiling it, without washing it, to allow it to knot up, to scare their enemies away. That's why it's called scare locks, dreadlocks. We can't adapt that culture. Plus, that culture and that custom goes against Islamic belief, because Islam teaches us that cleanliness is closer to godliness. Islam teaches us that Allah is beautiful. He does not hate it. He does not like anything that's ugly. Dreadlocks are dirty. Dreadlocks are unattractive. They're ugly. So they totally contradict our morality, our belief. Plus the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, told us, he said, anyone who has hair on their hair must comb it, oil it, brush it, wash it, clean it on a regular basis. You can't do that with dreads. Okay? So that's an example. We are forbidden to imitate the non-Muslims in their religious practices and also in their traditions and cultural customs. And that also includes the way they dress. I use this picture here. Y'all see this picture? I want to break it down to you weak Muslims in the West. You won't find a kid or a young lady in Gaza dressed like this. The women in Gaza don't dress this way. Jamali will tell you. I know because I got pictures of of them when he went there. They wear abayas. This woman is dressed like a kafir. Look, she's got a little shirt on. There's her derriere, which is tight fitting. The sleeves are tight fitting. Just because she threw a khimar on doesn't make it lawful. This is not the lawful way for a Muslim woman to dress. But if you drive through the streets of America, this is what you see. You drive through the streets of United Kingdom and other Western countries, Australia, this is what you see. This is imitating non-Muslims. We don't imitate them in their customs, their dress, their appearance. And we also don't imitate them by wearing their religious emblems. Can you guys believe? I have a Muslim sister here in one of our groups that I am in on Facebook. She converted to Islam a year ago. Y'all remember me telling her last Ramadan? I told her last Ramadan that she needs to throw away the locket that has her mother's ashes in it. This is shirk. Her mother is dead, but she still keeps ashes of her mother in a locket and she wears it around her neck because she said it makes her feel close to her mother. This is shirk. We can't do that. That's what the Christians do. That's what the Kafirs do. That's not what we do. Islam teaches us, the Prophet teaches us that we have to accept the qadr of Allah. That's why we're only allowed to mourn the death of a person 3 days other than your husband. because Allah wants you to accept his decree and keep it moving. You're walking around with ashes of your mother in a locket. You're never going to accept the fact that she's gone. See what happens when we imitate them. Remember, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever imitates a people who is not of us, then you are one of them. And that's what I see in the West. I can drive along the streets of USA, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, anywhere in the West. And I see a lot of Muslims who have no identity. Instead of having the identity of the Muslim, they have the identity of the non-believers. It's the Nicki Minaj show. It's the Jay-Z culture. It's the hip-hop show. Okay? And we sit around wondering, asking why Allah does what he does. Are you people crazy? So take a screenshot of this page. And any of you Muslim women listening to me who are dressed like this woman here, or any of your daughters shouldn't be dressed this way either. You better fear Allah and put an abaya on. An abaya is an overgarment that doesn't show the shape of your body. Okay? As Muslims, we have to understand and accept the importance of preserving our identity and not deviating away from the principles of Islam. So we have to learn and apply the rules that Allah created regarding imitating non-Muslims. So that way, nowadays when you see women who are dressed like her in that picture I had, you think she's okay. But you see a woman like me, or a woman with a niqab on, we're crazy. And then some of you are the real extreme. You think that unless a woman covers her face and wears ugly clothing, she's not the norm. We have to find the middle course. And the only way we're going to find the middle course in Islam is by learning it with the understanding of the companions. That's what's important. Having the understanding of the companions, not the understanding of Imam Malik, not the understanding of Imam Shafi, not the understanding of Imam Hanafi. It has to be the understanding of those original companions. Why? Because Allah says in the Quran that they are the best of this nation and no one understands the deen better than them. So you brothers have to stop reading fatwas from your sheikh and instead find a true scholar who can teach you the hadiths, who can teach you the companions' view. What did the companions say about covering the face? If you learned the hadith, you would learn that none of the companions said a woman has to cover her face except Ibn Masud. Ibn Masud was the only companion that said a woman has to cover her face. All the others, including the wives of the Prophet, including Ibn Abbas, Ibn Umar, Abu Bakr, Umar, they all said covering the face is not an obligation. But see, you brothers don't get that because all you know is your sheikh. So when you see a woman that's practicing the sunnah, you want to make me out to be a woman of zina. How dare you call me a woman of zina? How dare you call the believing women a woman of zina because I don't cover my face? You got to give up your deeds. If you got any good deeds, brother, they coming to me. Because I'll never forgive anybody for slandering me. I don't want nothing but your deeds if you got any. Okay? We have to learn this religion. Learn it with the understanding of the companions, not the understanding of an imam or a sheikh. Okay? That's how we preserve our identity, because no one understood the true identity of the Muslim like those companions did. So when it comes to living amongst the non-Muslims, we have to be careful how we interact with them. We have to be careful not to assimilate them and take on their beliefs, take on their actions, take on their dress, take on their ideologies. But I see it happening. It's happened already. For example, look at this. How many of you are still, and I'm talking to my students, how many of you are still posting up happy birthday? Enjoy your day. How many of you are still congratulating each other on birthdays? This is haram. We don't celebrate birthdays. This is an act of worship. We don't worship anyone but Allah. Just because I was born, you supposed to wish me a good day? Today ain't no different than any other day. I could drop dead today. Who said you're supposed to wish me a happy day because I was born? I didn't have nothing to do with being born. This is worship. Who said you're supposed to send me blessings because I was born? That's worshiping me. Remember, Allah tells us in the Quran, I'm going to give y'all some more dalil on that because too many of my students are still doing this. Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, cooperate in righteousness and piety. Do not cooperate in sin and enmity, and fear Allah. We want to know why our lives are so bad. A lot of my students ask the question, Sister Layla, why is it that so many bad things are happening? Not all bad things are purification. Sometimes Allah sends bad things to us as a punishment because of our arrogance. So I want my students to understand not all hardships are a purification. They're only a purification if you are not deliberately, intentionally disobeying Allah. I want my students here and Sunnah followers in my Zoom room to write it down. When Allah sends a calamity to you, it is only a purification if you are not intentionally, knowingly indulging in sin. If you are knowingly committing sins, it's Allah's way of punishing you for being arrogant, for being disobedient. So for my students who are still celebrating birthdays, I see you. You on Facebook telling people happy birthday. You on Facebook telling people enjoy their born day. It's still a birthday. Born day sounds even worse. Okay? You know, born day is even worse. As long as you keep on congratulating each other on these non-Muslim celebrations, Allah is going to keep sending calamity to your way. So it ain't a purification for you, it's a punishment. So congratulating non-Muslims or each other in regards to religious celebrations that are not a part of our way, this is a way of deviating away from wala wa bara. It shows you've lost your Muslim identity. Participating in any religious festivals that don't come from us is also forbidden, and we talked about that already. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I don't celebrate New Year's Day. I don't celebrate the 4th of July. These things may not have anything to do with worship, but they totally invalidate my allegiance to Allah, to the Prophet, and to the believers. By me taking part in these non-Muslim holidays, it's showing that, I am thwarted and tainted in my belief. My allegiance is not where it should be. We're supposed to disassociate from that type of thing with the non-Muslims. Our holidays are only the Eid al-Adha and the Eid al-Fitr. That's it. I don't participate in no non-Muslim celebrations. So we have to be mindful of our actions. And again, uphold the principles of Islam. And again, uphold the identity of the Muslim. Also, another problem in the West. Not only do we imitate the Kafirs in their dress, their ideology, their actions, their behaviors, their holidays, but many of us blindly obey them too. I want y'all to take heed to this verse where Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, verily those who have turned back or apostated after guidance has been given to them, because Shaitan has made beautiful for them false hopes, and because Allah has prolonged their age. This is because they said to those who hate what Allah sent down, we will obey you in part of the matter. But Allah knows their secrets. And how will it be when the angels take their souls at death and hit them in their faces and their backs because they followed that which angered Allah? This is what I find as a daya. Too many of the Muslims here in the West, you're trying to be half Muslim and half Kafir. There is no such thing as half Muslim. Either you are Muslim or you're Kafir. It's just that simple. Those people in Gaza, they're not half-stepping. They're Muslim. That's it. They ain't trying to take on the identity of the Zionists around them. You won't go to Gaza and see any Muslim girl trying to dress like the people of that's outside of Gaza, the Zionists. They're not imitating. They're not celebrating the Zionist holidays. They don't do that. You're not going to find Christmas trees and Santa Claus, in Gaza, like you see in the Emirates, like you see in Egypt, and even parts of Saudi Arabia. You ain't going to walk through Gaza and see them decorating jack-o'-lanterns and dressing up like witches, like they do in all these other Muslim lands. Okay? Their identity is intact. Their identity will always be intact in that part of the earth. Okay? But we blindly follow the non-Muslims and obey them. Okay? So again, as Muslims, anything that contradicts our Islamic beliefs, anything that contradicts our Islamic morality, we're supposed to disagree with it and disassociate with it. I'll give y'all an example. Voting in elections. I've been telling y'all, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said a kafir can never be a ruler, a guardian over a Muslim. America has always been a Zionist country. I know. I have a degree in history here. That's what that whole 4th of July independence was. The settlers broke off from England because England was, number one, a monarchy, and number two, it was a Christian country. The early settlers didn't want that. They didn't want to be governed by a monarchy, and they did not want to be governed by a religion. So they broke off from England and they formed their own constitution. And in the American Constitution, I know because I'm a paralegal and had to learn that there's a separation between state and religion. A separation. That's Zionism. George Washington was a Mason. Thomas Jefferson were Masons. What is Mason? Masons are Zionists. They're against religious rule. They're against monarchy. They believe in a democracy where they vote without religion interfering. So I've been telling you Muslims ever since I've been given dawah that you ain't got no business voting in no American elections for no president. because all American presidents are Zionists, except for maybe two. I think Clinton, he was true sex, drugs, and rock and roll. He wasn't Zionist. And I don't think Kennedy was a Zionist. I think that's why they killed Kennedy, because Kennedy was not about Zionism. But America is a country based on Zionism. So what are you voting for? There is no president in America that's going to represent Muslims. They hate us. And when you voted for Obama, what did he do? He's the one that sent all them weapons over there to Israel. This stuff was in the making. And you ignorant Western Muslims helped fuel it. Why? Because you've taken on the ideology of the non-Muslims. You voted for Obama because he was black. Y'all, that racial stuff. Your allegiance was to the black man when it should have been to a Muslim, not to no person because they black. Okay? So, again, that verse, Allah warns against turning away from our faith after guidance has been made clear to us. Because whenever we turn away from our belief after guidance has been made clear, this is a sign of hypocrisy. It's a sign of disbelief. And a lot of the Muslims here in the West, our hearts are filled with hypocrisy. Our hearts are still filled with disbelief. This is how Shaitan deceives us. He beautifies and gives us false hopes, false inspirations, so we can transgress the limits of Allah. He does like what's happening today. He's causing too many of you Muslims who are weak to look at those dead pictures. That's why I'm telling y'all, first of all, to the scholars out there and the daya out there, stop posting up pictures of dead babies and dead Muslims. First of all, this is against Islam. The Prophet admonished the companions. He admonished Bilal. He said, do not drag these people through the battlefield. Let them see they're fallen and looking like that. Cover those bodies up. Keep those women and children away from that. He said, let them remember they're fallen dead. The best of them in a good way. Don't have their last memory of them be of their fingers and body parts gone. So you Muslim men, and women, stop posting up pictures of dead people on your Facebook pages, because it's breaking, it's destroying the Muslim nation, because most Muslims are weak. Y'all know that. And it's backfiring. It's causing the Muslims to question Allah. It's causing the Muslims to get so caught up in their emotions. Remember, the Prophet said, our emotions will be our downfall. This nation, we're too emotionally distraught. We focus on sympathy instead of empathy. We're not supposed to feel sorry for anyone. We're supposed to empathize for others. Empathy means to put yourself in their shoes and ask, how would you react? How would you behave? What would you want if you were in their situation? We're too sympathetic. We need to be more empathetic. So we're allowing Shaitan to play on our sympathy and cause us to hate Allah and question Allah and ask why he's doing this, like Allah, because we forget that Allah said, I'm doing it for several reasons, even though he ain't got to tell us why. Okay? So this is what happens when we compromise our faith by imitating and obeying those whose teachings contradict ours. The non-Muslims teach to sympathize. The Prophet Muhammad taught to empathize. The Prophet didn't tell the companions to feel sorry for the people that was left in Mecca. He didn't tell the companions to feel sorry. He said, empathize for them. What would you want? What would you do If in their shoes, you'd want to go forward in the way of Allah. You'd want to fight to liberate them. Sympathy keeps you from fighting, guys. Sympathy causes you to lose hope. Sympathy causes you to throw in the towel. Too many of you are like that. You better become like lailanasheeba and be empathetic. Hello. All right. So we have to, that verse tells us we have to stay true to our faith, not compromise our belief, not allow our emotions to get the better of us, to not allow the non-Muslims to advise us, to be our consultants, our protectors, our friends, because their lifestyle contradicts ours and it'll cause us to imitate them, assimilate them, and we'll be weak like them. Okay? I want y'all to screenshot this page. I'm gonna give y'all a couple seconds. Take a screenshot of that. Okay, now we go to the quiz. I only got 3 questions, but I want to hear some detailed answer. Sister Fame, are you here? So, somebody here that can give, because I'm not going to be able to see the answers on YouTube and Facebook. Somebody log in on YouTube? Okay, good. So you can tell me what they type. Okay, here's the first question. I want to see what everybody type. I want y'all to give me some examples of imitation. Of what it means to imitate a non-Muslim in your dress. Give me an example of imitating the non-Muslims and how you dress. And don't use the example I gave. Give us an example.
Sagging your pants.
MashaAllah. How many of you Muslim youth wear your pants underneath your derriere? How many of you Muslim youth wear your pants dragging the ground under your derriere? MashaAllah, that's an example. Give me another example of imitation in dress.
Tight fitting clothes.
Said, yes, tight fitting clothes. You sisters wearing tight fitting clothes. That's an example. Give me some more.
A woman wearing a bow tie or necktie.
Wearing what?
A bow tie, necktie. Is that necktie?
Okay, that's imitating what? Is that that's imitating a man? Okay, but I want imitating of a non-Muslim. Give me some more stuff to that non-Muslim dress. Go ahead. People on YouTube don't have no answers. People on Facebook.
See-through clothing.
See-through clothing. You sisters wearing that see-through stuff. That's imitating the non-Muslims. That's haram. What else?
Wearing a jean with a hole on it.
Exactly. Wearing your pants, your jeans that's torn out. Wearing those blue jeans that's torn out so people can see your skin. Good job. Also, good job, Sakina. I'm on Facebook too looking. Sakina said your toes and your feet not covered. Exactly. A lot of Muslim women don't understand that the top of the Muslim's foot, a Muslim woman's feet, is supposed to be covered. So when you sisters are wearing those sandals that's got your toes out, that's imitating the non-Muslims. Okay, Sister Sophia, she said skinny jeans. Exactly. So there's a lot of things that we do that's imitating the non-Muslims in dress. Good job. Let's look at the next question. What about this? Is it lawful for Muslims to celebrate Kwanzaa? Why or why not? I saw a lot of you doing this. How many of y'all celebrated Kwanzaa? A lot of them African-American Muslims, I saw it on your Facebook pages. You celebrated Kwanzaa. Is this lawful? If it is, explain why. What makes Kwanzaa different? What makes Kwanzaa different than Christmas or something? Or do you think it's unlawful? Who can take the mic and explain it? Come on, guys, get on that microphone. This is the easiest question of all. Is it lawful for Muslims to celebrate Kwanzaa? Why or why not? Go ahead.
Sister Fatima said no, it isn't, because it's not part of our Islamic belief system.
You guys agree with her answer? She's correct. This is haram. It contradicts what? What does it what about our belief system does it contradict? Who can tell me? Every Muslim on this planet should know this. This is Islam 101. This is basic Tawheed. Why come I can't do Kwanzaa? What is it?
Your allegiance?
Exactly. This contradicts our allegiance. We don't have allegiance to slavery. We don't have allegiance to the Africans that came here from slavery. We don't have allegiance to that crap. Our allegiance is to Allah, to the Prophet, and to the Muslims. We don't take part in no non-Islamic, non-Muslim holidays. That's not our culture. Our culture is Islam, not black slavery. Y'all understand that? Kwanzaa was something that they made up to counter Christmas for the black people, to commemorate slavery and all that. I'm sorry. We don't commemorate nothing but Allah. No one but Allah. That's it. We don't even commemorate the Prophet Muhammad. We don't even commemorate the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We only commemorate Allah. Are you people crazy? All you African-American Muslims in America with this Kwanzaa, y'all need to fear Allah. Y'all better get back to the basics of Islam. Y'all better stop all that life of this world drama and learn your deen. You better start coming to my classes. You sisters, most of my followers are men. 65% of the people who listen to my lectures are men. You women are too arrogant. Number one, you jealous. You allow your jealousy of another woman to prevent you from learning. And number two, you're too arrogant. You think, oh, she's a woman. I don't like the idea of another woman telling me anything. Well, you need to get over that arrogance and learn from this female here, because I can teach you things that the brothers y'all listen to can't teach y'all. Because I'm going to teach y'all the truth. Well, them brothers are going to water down Islam. They only going to give you half the story, because they want you to lick pus and they want you to prostrate to them, when that ain't what we do. So you better learn from this woman, okay? And I'm going to keep it real. My loud voice, this is the voice that the female companions had. This is how Aisha spoke. This is how Salama spoke. This is how Allah commands us to speak as women. Don't you dare soften your voice, Layla, publicly. Sheikh Morsi will tell me in a heartbeat. He said, I better not ever hear you sounding like them other women. You better keep that voice strong. You better keep that voice where it can shake the heart like Allah commands. You better not ever succumb to what the people say. That's what Sheikh Morsi tells me. That's what Allah says. Okay? So you sisters need to start listening and learning from Layla. Okay? And stop all that Kwanzaa. And stop all that happy birthday crap. Y'all understand that? Kwanzaa is haram, haram, haram. It's just as bad as Christmas, because it's showing allegiance to something other than what Allah and the Prophet says. Subhanallah, people. This is Islam 101. I learned this stuff, boy. Oh, God. May Allah bless Sheikh Karadari. Okay, here we go. Next question. Is it okay to tell another person to enjoy their day because it's their birthday? Who can tell me why or why not? Let's hear the answer and throw in some Quran. Throw in the hadiths. Let's hear it. Who can answer? My students better get on that mic. Dr. Jamali, they should all know how to answer this question, but they can't. The people in Gaza can. You don't see the people in Gaza doing this stuff. Come on, Muslims. Is it okay to tell another Muslim to enjoy their day because it's their birthday? It's my birthday. It's my birthday. Ha, 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 ha. Enjoy my day. Why or why not? Come on, 50 centers. I got a bunch of 50 centers in here. 50 centers. I make a joke out of anything, but
Yes, it's okay.
That's one of the babies.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's not. That's wrong, baby. We don't celebrate birthdays. He tried. That shows his mom must be doing it. Whose baby was that? Was that Sully?
He's my child. He's my child.
Okay. Now, since he said it, that means his mom is doing it. Mom, get on the mic.
That's not me. That's not me at all.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
No, it's not good to tell another person it's okay, because we're not worshiping them, we're not commemorating them, we're not eulogizing them, and that is against the beliefs of that our beliefs, our system of beliefs, to not worship anyone except Allah, and for that to be proven to be a worship of Allah. So no, it is not good. It's like congratulating them and, saying that what they're practicing is okay. So we're against that. Totally.
Yeah, and make sure y'all explain that to the kids. The kids don't know, because growing up here in America, that's what they do. Happy birthday, Sully. And teach your children how to respond. How did the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam tell us to respond to the greetings of the kafir? What are we supposed to say when the kafirs greet us with their greetings? What did the Prophet say it again?
He said to say to you.
Yes, just say the same to you. Just say the same to you. Wa alaikum, which means the same to you. But we don't go around congratulating them. So if a lot of you are on Facebook, that's why I don't put my birthday on there. But a lot of people on Facebook, when they say happy birthday, you just say the same to you, or just don't respond at all. Okay? But what gets me is when I see Muslims telling other Muslims happy birthday and enjoy your day. I want to know, when that stuff comes to bite you when you in your grave, when those angels come to you in your grave and say, why was you wishing happy birthday? When you know this contradicts belief in Allah, because the only one worthy of worship is Allah. But telling everybody happy birthday, happy because they were born, happy born day, this is the day I was born, you were worshiping something other than Allah. And you heard Sister Layla talk about it. But because you hated Layla, because you couldn't take direction from another woman, because it's you sisters I see doing this. I don't see the brothers doing this. It's you sisters. And see, we women are arrogant. We don't like a woman telling us something. You ain't hurting me. You hurting yourself. And those angels are going to remind you when you in your grave. Layla used to tell y'all all the time that you shouldn't do it, but you allowed your jealousy of Layla, your arrogance to prevent you from listening. She gave you all the dalil. all the evidence, but you couldn't get past your feminine hatred and your feminine jealousy. That's another reason why it's going to be more women in hell. We're arrogant. We refuse to accept the truth from another woman. They didn't want to accept the truth from Aisha. Let me tell y'all about that. Remember when Islam spread throughout the Roman Empire, throughout Syria, okay, a lot of the Roman women converted to Islam, and they came to Medina with their men, their husbands, to learn from. Their husbands came to learn from the companions, from Ibn Abbas, Ibn Umar and them. And the women came to seek knowledge from Aisha, but they were so jealous. They would go and listen to Ibn Masud. Ibn Masud. And Ibn Masud was the companion that had all these strict ideas on women that Aisha had to correct, that Ibn Abbas had to correct, that Sa'id al-Khudri had to correct, that Ibn Umar had to correct, okay? And Aisha would tell those women, why do y'all keep listening to him? She said, y'all keep going to Ibn Masud. Ibn Masud wants to put you women in the category of a dog and say that a woman breaks your prayer, when a woman does not break a man's prayer. She said, then y'all come running to me. She said, y'all should learn from me, not him, but you too arrogant to learn from me. You rather go listen to Ibn Masud and then come running back to me because you're too arrogant. You're too jealous. And that's when she told the women, my husband, the prophet, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, said one of the reasons why there'll be more women in hell is because you don't want to take from another woman. You will follow a man to the hellfire. You don't want to take from a woman who may know more and who may know more than him. She said, Ibn Masud can't tell you nothing about your rights as a woman that I can't tell you. She said, I know more than him on that. But the women wouldn't listen. And that's just how you women are today. You rather keep listening to these brothers because you're too jealous and arrogant to learn from Layla, who may know more than them, because I'm older than them, because I've studied from real scholars, because I memorized the hadith, and because I'm a woman too. You don't want to listen to me? Keep on listening to them brothers. Okay, and keep on telling people, enjoy their day. It's going to come and bite you when you in that grave. Okay? Last question. True or false? It is haram to imitate a person who is not a Muslim perform his job as a surgeon. Is this true or false? Is it haram to imitate a person, a non-Muslim, perform his job as a surgeon? Is that haram? Why or why not? Take the mic. Take the mic. This is easy. And what answers do they have on Facebook? I can see people on Facebook and YouTube. What they got on YouTube, but I can't switch the computer. What they got on YouTube?
From the previous answers, from the previous question, they have some answers there.
Why didn't you give them to me?
You already answered it. For this one, Fatima said false. No, it isn't, because it's a career. We can take it.
Good job. Fatima, good job. This is the only thing that we can imitate non-Muslims in, guys, is when it comes to, work, stuff like that. If you have a non-Muslim trying to teach you how to be a good surgeon, how to make the cut, that's okay. Or even being a cook, a chef. What if I want to Rachel Ray? I want to imitate Rachel Ray and how to make a roast beef. That's okay. I can make my roast beef like Rachel Ray. Okay? Something like that, a profession or skill. Subhanallah, the prophet of the prophet's wives, radiallahu anha, many of them, used to earn money by making leather. They would work with leather and make things out of leather and sell it. That's what Sauda did to earn extra money. That's what Salama did to earn extra money. That's what Maimuna did. A lot of them would make work with leather. And how do you think they learned? They learned how to sew and make things out of leather from the non-Muslim. Okay? So we can imitate them with that, but we can't imitate them in their dress, in their cultural practices, or their religious practices. Okay? Good job. Now I'm getting ready to focus back on me. Give me a second, guys, to bring the computer back. Y'all know I don't have nobody work this. I'm going to have to teach one of these girls. If I can get one that'll be here every day to do it without me having to call their name. Okay, hold on. I'm coming in. Here we go. There's Layla. All right. So, mashallah, do you guys understand this? You know, this is basic tawheed. We don't dress like them. We don't participate in none of their holidays, even the 4th of July. Because even though the 4th of July has nothing to do with worship, it's not part of our culture as Muslims. We only got 2 holidays. That's it. And we can do our kikas. The Prophet told there's nothing wrong with doing our kikas. You know, we have good wedding walimas. But we've even imitated the non-Muslims in wedding walimas. My gosh, you sisters walking down the aisle, dressing in white, exchanging rings. Y'all have even imitated the kafir in their weddings. This is a sin. This is haram. All right. Are there any questions or comments? You guys did pretty good today. Any questions or comments? Is everything clear? And by the way, Brother Ahmad, he put out part of my lecture yesterday. I posted it up on Facebook and YouTube, how there are no gray areas when it comes to the lawful and unlawful. I don't want to hear none of you sisters say that again. I've heard too many of y'all say that there's a gray area. There are no gray areas in the lawful and the unlawful. Either it's lawful or it's not. And by the way, there's no disliked either. There's no disliked either. Disliked is something that the scholars came up with. Not Allah, not the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Either it's lawful or it's not. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, here's the dalil, Sahih Bukhari. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the lawful and the unlawful have been clearly defined by Allah. That means no gray area. It's clear. He said the things that Allah have not mentioned are good and clean. They're all lawful. Okay? He said, but there are some things that may be gray to you. There are some things that you may not know the answer to. He said, so you stay away from it until you ask the people of knowledge. But for us to say that Allah was not clear, we're saying that Allah did not perfect our religion, that Allah did not complete it. The Prophet said Allah does not forget anything. So don't ever, I don't want to hear none of my students ever make that statement again, that something is gray in regards to lawful. No, it ain't. Nothing. If Allah don't mention makeup, what does that mean? It means it's lawful. Did Allah mention cocaine? Yes, he did. Did Allah mention heroin? Yes, he did. Did Allah mention meth? Yes, he did. Where's the dalil? That's why you got to learn them hadiths. Umar, may Allah be pleased with him. a man approached him. He said, "Oh, Umar, I came upon some people who take corn and they ferment it and then they drink it." Umar said, "Do they become intoxicant? Do they become intoxicated?" Because Umar hadn't heard of this. Using corn. He didn't know that people could ferment corn and make alcohol out of it. The man said, "Yes, when you ferment corn," the man was from Syria. He said, "When you ferment corn, it becomes intoxicating." And so there's people in Syria drinking it. They're getting drunk off of alcohol made out of corn. That's when Umar, radiallahu anhu, said, the Prophet, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, said, anything that befogs the brain is considered an intoxicant. It's the same as khamr, as alcohol. So it's haram, haram, haram. So there's your dalil on marijuana. There's your dalil on cocaine. There's your dalil on crack. Anything that befogs the brain. There's your dalil on opiates. If you are taking opiates for recreational reasons, it's haram because it befogs the brain. So don't ever say that Allah forgot something, that Allah didn't make the lawful and unlawful clear, because it is. It's just that you guys have to learn the deen. Remember, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the scholars are the inheritors of the prophets. And when they die, their knowledge goes with them. The scholars are dying like crazy. We've lost so many true scholars of hadith. So many true scholars have died since 2000. So we're stuck with men who call themselves their students. But their students are twisted, many of them. They don't have the knowledge that their scholars had because their scholars memorized the hadiths when they were children. And their students just learned what their scholars said. So their students are going around quoting my sheikh, my sheikh, my sheikh, instead of quoting what the Prophet said, what the companion said. That's where we are today. The hadiths are becoming abandoned. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said one of the signs of the last hour, Islam will become strange. The Sunnah will become strange and abandoned. It'll be replaced with fatwa. People will issue Islamic verdicts that go against what Allah said, that go against what I said because they don't know my hadiths, my Sunnah. And they deviate away from my companions. That's where we are. So I don't want to hear none of you as my students ever make that comment. Ain't nothing great. It's just that you don't know something. Okay? And then you ask the right people. Islam is based on two sources, not Imam Shafi, not Imam Malik, not Ibn Taymiyyah. May Allah bless them all. Islam is based on two sources. The Prophet said the book of Allah and my Sunnah. That's it. Can't nobody make anything lawful or unlawful but Allah. Can't nobody change it. Give me a question, I can answer it. And if I can't, I can call somebody that can, who's a real scholar, who ain't gonna tell you what no Imam Sheikh said. They're going to take it right back to that hadith of those companions and the Prophet. If something ain't clear, my students, this is for you. If something ain't clear to you, don't ever ask what an Imam said. Don't ever ask what a Sheikh said. You ask the people to give you the opinion of the companions. And I'm talking Aisha, Ibn Abbas, Ibn Umar, those original companions that me and Mukhtar are teaching. Because Allah says nobody understands this deen better than they after the Prophet. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So if the person can't give you an answer from Aisha or Ibn Abbas or Abu Bakr, Umar, Sa'id al-Khudri, Az-Zubair, Zainab, Atiyah, if they can't give you an answer from them originals, then you say thank you and walk away. Y'all understand that? And go ask somebody who can give you the answer. Y'all got it. We've come too far here at Sunnah Followers for y'all to play dumb in your old age. Seriously. All right. Okay. Any questions or comments?